All right, everybody out there in the Craft Chest Nation, it's Craft Chest here, and here in the near future, probably going to be posting more videos than normal because I got a lot more time on my hands, and just quite simply, there's a lot of things to talk about, and we're not going to talk about the apocalypse and stockpiling and all this, and I know there's been a bunch of you out there DMing me on Twitter and actually live tweeting about this, asking me why I haven't done the, the bug out thing and all that. It's because I ain't bugging out. All right, I have supplies, I have a plan, got fuel in the vehicle if I need to actually bug out, and I know roughly where I would go. But as far as supplies here, everything's good. I don't have to stockpile anything because I already buy stuff not in bulk, but personal bulk, I guess. Does that make sense? Like I have a tray of sweet peas down here because I just like sweet peas. I like sweet peas and rice, brown rice. I got plenty of brown rice in there to boil and bag. I have butane in a campfire stove that I've had since I was in the military because that's how I used to actually make coffee. I had a little coffee kit. That's why all the officers loved me, because I had that coffee. But I don't want to digress, but I have all this stuff. Everything I need except for fishing equipment. I'm slacking in the fishing equipment department, so I need to kind of fix that, and then I'm good to go. As far as if I had to live on the land, that would be the way to do it. And I think I got rid of all the seeds because they were really, really old. But anyway, we're not talking about the actual apocalypse. What we're going to be talking about in this video are numbers. Because watching some news feeds and all these plans and all of it's fluid, the new term of the month, it's ever changing. And they're going to come up with a plan to actually help Americans pay their bills, defer payments, relief and pushes and all this other stuff, so that our financial market doesn't actually crash, okay? Now, unemployment offices per state are really under a strain right now, more so in the high populous states than, say, here in Mississippi, and we're actually going to be making a video about this. Alec Peters, we got a video response I'm either going to have before or after this one. I don't know which one I'm going to post first, but I got a message for you talking shit about Mississippi. But here, the governor has reassured everyone that our unemployment program is strong and solid, and that he has waived a lot of waiting periods and penalties and so forth. So like a state like this one, we are pretty much good to go for the next 4 months at least. And after that, then we'll have to see. The federal aid that's coming down the pipe as far as the relief that they're wanting to give Americans as far as deferred payments and non-evictions and this and that and the other. I'm sure that some of that is going to be perverted to personal gain one way or another, whether it's the squatter, in a house that wants to claim squatter rights, or whether it be big corporations doing the buybacks that they say they don't want to do, but it's going to happen anyway. So there's a $2 trillion plan going on, and I'm pretty interested in numbers, especially when it comes to money, because I'm a numbers guy. I used to be really good at it. I could take $2 trillion and you tell me something and I could rattle it off, thinking about it briefly. And here lately, though, that's a lot of zeros. All right, I haven't seen that many zeros in quite a while. None of these numbers I've seen in quite a while, except for the tax part of it, which I know well because we all pay our taxes. And I got to do a few calculations of the average household, all right, which is $75,000 and less on average. I'm not saying that's what everybody makes. You may make less, you may make more. I don't know. But I know here our average is $75,000. Well, actually, it's higher than that. It's actually like 110 and below. But the average American Joe that ain't working, engineering at the shipyard, whatever, is not making that kind of money, okay? The average populace is making $75,000 or less. And looking at the numbers, I know personally that I pay more than the number I came up with as far as dividing the $2 trillion by the populace of America, taking out the employment percentage, and then doing a calculation on how much this would be per household, which ends up being roughly and estimated at $6,300 per head as far as the populace is concerned. and this number comes from 2018. All right, so that could have fluctuated up or down. We're just going off the information that Google has given me, which is 327.2 million Americans that we know about. So taking that down and taking the unemployment percentage, it takes it down to roughly 316 million employed Americans. And out of all of those people's, from the $2 trillion, if you just divided it up and gave everybody money, it would be $6,329. And I was really thinking about that part right there. When I got to that figure, I pay that much in taxes myself, and I make under $50,000 now, currently, at the job that I'm at. But I'm single, got my own place over here, I'm renter, and so it's not a big, gigantic strain. I live pretty comfortably, all right? Comfortably. Not lavishly, but comfortably, to be able to do whatever it is that I choose to do in my current circumstance. And I still pay more than the $6,329. So before, we have all the people out there go all negative about, oh, this is going to break the country, think about this. I'm paying that much, $6,329 is what it breaks down to, and we're just going to call it $6,300. I pay that much personally, more than that, in taxes every year. Now, you take people that make more monies, and I know people do kickbacks and write-offs and this, that, and the other so they could get more money back. But this is a give and take every single year with people. Okay, so what they take from me, I have my deductibles to where every year I get like $2 back. All right, that's the give and take that I have with them. And so what they take is what they take. State, pretty much leave that alone because it's, I don't know why I do that. I think it's a personal thing that I don't do the deductible thing on state, because the state will jack you up worse than the federal will, especially where I live here. And whenever I lived in Louisiana, I couldn't wait to get out of that state because, the state taxes. You didn't get anything back. You owed them money every year, no matter how much you made or deducted or not deducted, and giving them donate. You want to add more to? No, just get me out of here. And that's why a lot of people live here and commute over there. That's why we got a lot of our coronas right now going on in this state. And yeah, I know that's not how you pronounce it, but that's what they say on WWL, on that radio station. They call it the coronas. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So let's get back to this number. So you know that this $2 trillion, yes, it's going to put a strain on the government. But if you really think about 316 million people paying in at least or more than $6,300 a year in taxes, there's actually a surplus. All right, there's got to be more funds out there. All right, I'm not worried about us crashing because of this. And I guess the big grand, finale to this video is that people are freaking out. All right, they're freaking out. They're buying up everything like it's the zombie apocalypse. All right, it's just the bottom line. It is a crisis that is bad. It's a bad situation. Yes, it is. It's a worldwide situation. States and countries that have high populaces, concentrated people like right on top of each other are being hit the hardest. Example being New York. The worst rate in our country. Italy is being decimated by this virus. And so we have to keep in mind that you have to keep a calm and cool head about all this and not worry about money. Okay? That's one thing that we need to do as a people, is to remember that these technologies that we have going on, what I'm talking to you on, all this, has spoiled us into not being aware and not being able to take care of ourselves if the grid goes down. And that is why people are panic buying. That is why people are, making fun, or now they're not making fun of the preppers. They're like, well, I guess the preppers had it right all along, didn't they? And that is why we need to step back and go kind of old school on everything and say, hey, maybe it is a good idea for me to go plant that squash. Maybe it is a good idea for me to plant a couple of rows of butter beans, or learn how to do so. Because you don't have to have acres of crops to be able to sustain your life. I remember growing up, and we didn't have to, but Mama did it anyway. Wherever we lived, or she would do it at one of the relatives' house where that would allow her or had better soil, all right, to do so, she would have a row of okra, all right? We would share crop. I remember that. Y'all probably don't even know what that word means. We would share crop with one of our rich relatives that actually had fields upon fields of snap beans and butter beans, or I call them butter beans, but lima beans is what y'all call them. Butter beans and, you know, golly, name it. And we did it. Purple whole peas and, man, just name it. And I can remember still today like it was last weekend, you know, like it was yesterday, as a matter of fact. It's that vivid of us going out and having so much, you know, that we would actually, hey, take this over to so-and-so's house that you know and see if they'll help you shell them and then let them have some of it if they'll help you. I was like, hell yeah, because, you know, that's just the way we did it, you know, and vice versa. They would have the same thing, and hey, you want to come help us do snap beans here, and then y'all can take some home for supper tonight? Just the way it was. And that's something that we need to really go back to and have that integrated in with our current technologies. All right? We've lost that. All right? Our parents, I know someone personally who's raising kids right now who is more concerned about a car note than she is about teaching the kids survival. Because it's a fact of life. And I'm not bashing, not talking shit, it's just the facts. More concerned with materialistic bullshit than we are teaching each other how to survive these situations. So how are you going to do it if the grid goes down? You know, what are we going to do? What are you going to do with all that meat you bought? All the eggs and the chicken and the pizzas and the whatever. That shit's gone. Unless you got a generator, and even that's going to be limited because the grid went down. Where's your fuel? And I know there's preppers out there. I know there's people right now freaking out. They went out and bought every gas can Walmart had. And you have gallons upon gallons of fuel that's going to stale because you forgot to buy the stay bill. No. You know you did. It's going to run out. They're talking about if this is worst case scenario. I'm not saying the grid will go down, but they're talking about 16 to 24 months before a vaccine can be found. That's a long time to have to deal with an apocalypse or a plague or whatever you want to call it, a pandemic. That's the real word. But it is really people out there that don't believe Bible prophecy. You have locusts about to go across Africa right now. You have this plague that's worldwide. And all these other things that people made fun of David J. Smith. Jet Phase, are you out there? Remember we used to try to listen to this guy. We talked about this. You know, I remember those people back in the early days of streaming. 2008, 2009, 2007. You know, we would talk about things like this and how, man, you know, that stuff is really kind of, you know, it's not far-fetched if you really sit back and think about it. It's happened, and it's going to happen again. And at the end of it, if we're smart about it, we will come out stronger than before. We should take this opportunity right now to learn how to survive things like this, to know how to do the right thing, and not have to be told by the man, hey, you know, it might be a good idea for you to wash your hands. It might be a good idea for you to use sanitizer. It might be a good idea for you to social distance. You know what? Y'all not getting it. Numbers are still going up. Quarantine. Why you gotta be told? See, that's why our number is roughly about 200 right now in this state, and everybody else's is in the thousands. Not every state, but the ones reporting accurate numbers, all right, they're a lot more than what we have going on here. Because we don't have to be told. Just because, I guess, you know, we're going to get into this in a different video, but I heard the other day, Texas and Mississippi are so far behind the times, it pisses me off. You know, what does that mean? You know, that's why our number is way lower than yours? Sit down. Which are like 5,000 cases of it. This is not the time. to make fun of each other. This is the time for us to stand up and help each other. And we might make a video on things like what we discussed here in this video. And I know it went totally off of where the numbers part of it is, but I just got to thinking about that. The numbers part of it was just something I threw in there. We're going to be okay is the bottom line on it, because I know there's so many people worried about financial. They're worried about the stock market crashing. They're worried about our country collapsing, the infrastructure, this and that and the other. Okay, we're going to be okay. There is a surplus. Don't let them fool you. They can pull that fundage out. Hopefully they don't pull it out of military, because that's the last thing we need, is to have a weakened military by this. All right, I know everybody out there doesn't want martial law. You already don't want the National Guard on your streets, you know, for whatever reason, because here our National Guard has been deployed statewide for assistance. I know you don't want that, but you better be glad we got it. And you better be glad that you live in states that you do, if you do, that has open carry laws, okay? That doesn't have limitations on, you know, here in this state we have congressional carry. All right, so we can go either way, open carry or covered up. Can't be on your ankle or anything, but if it's on your body from like here to here, well, I don't know, there's a rule. But you better be glad that you could have that, because it's going to get rough. They got curfews going into effect, all right? We have businesses that have been mandatorily closed here, and I'm sure after the next couple of days, it's probably a good thing I took a little PTO, because I have a feeling our business will end up telling us we're just going to go ahead and close down until this is over with. We know we let you work on the clock behind locked doors to do work inside, but we've decided that we're just going to go ahead and send you to the house until this blows over, until further notice. What's going on with this? Oh, Atomic Dog. What's going on, dude? Anyway, what do you guys think about that? Was that a ramble? Was that a rant? Am I crazy? What's wrong with me? Why'd you cut your fingernails? I actually didn't. I broke it on a truck. My dig, pick, and scratch nail broke. That one's growing out, though. Just to let y'all know. It's not a coat nail. I use it for utility at work. We'll go over that in a video in the future. Maybe I'll film that one day and show y'all actually what I do. I don't know. If you're old school retail, you know, back in the day, everybody had one of those if you worked with boxes and cans and whatnot. It's a crash of the mind. Everybody go out there and have some fun. I hope that you get the gist of this video. Don't panic. It's going to be okay. We're going to make this through this together. You know, before they ever even did any of this panicking stuff, I knew that it was time to step up and actually start helping people. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but so far we've delivered, what was it, about 8 pounds? Was it 8 or 10 pounds of grilled meats? You'll see that over on Twitter. If you follow me over on Twitter, you can go have a look at the pictures and the videos of that. I didn't put the people in it because it wasn't important. I didn't do it for that. Didn't do it for publicity, but I'm helping people. You know, leaving work the other day, I left a little early because I had PTO scheduled for a day and this, that, and the other, whatever. But anyway, there was this girl walking out, and I was like, oh, shit, she's got one of those bags. She's selling perfume. That's what I thought. So I was like, I got to get away. I was like, get away, get away, get away. And I got my car, and I took off. Well, I went across the street, and just so happens the universe said, hey, you need to talk to this girl. I'm like, why, universe? Leave me alone. So I came out, and boom, out of Office Depot, because I needed batteries for my alarm system here at the house. And boom, right there outside the door, I was like, what the hell? She goes, hey, sir, I hate to bother you, but can you spare $1 so I can go get me a Sprite? I was like, I'm going into Dollar General. Wait right here, and I'll bring you one. So I went in, got my stuff, whatever. I got her, they didn't have Sprite, so I got her Canadian Mist and a bottle of water and $10. Got some cash back. Put it in a bag and gave it to her. I was like, don't throw the bag away before you look in it. Have a nice day. Do the right thing with it. And I know it's not a lot, but you know what? She got some water, stay hydrated, got her little drink, and $10. And I wish her well, because it ended up being that her and the girl were together, and they ended up getting a fight, and now she's out on the street. Out on the streets for a living. I'm not making funny. But, because I asked her, I was like, why are you looking crazy? And so, me as a person, I just can't not help someone if I have the ability. And I had a couple of $100, you know, stashed to the side for such an occasion that we have going on right here at the Apocalypse. That may not sound like a lot, but I don't need a lot. Dollar Tree has a lot of shit for $200, you know? So I was like, you know what? This girl may be legit. Let me throw a little something, make her a little more comfortable. Maybe she'll do the right thing. Maybe. If it's right, if it's true. But the bottom line is that complete stranger helped him out some. Just like you guys out there, in all reality, I've never met you personally, but all of you out there that have subscribed and donated to the cause and fundraisers that we've done in the past, at the end of the day, are complete strangers. I know you by name. I know you by your contributions. And it's my way, I guess, is what I'm getting at is paying it forward instead of paying you back. All right? And it's taking care of each other. Taking care of each other, taking care of our own. All right? And our own is mankind. And that's the bottom line. Not that our animal friends don't need it, because I got a koi fish over here 2 feet long that I take care of every single day. I switched from cats and dogs to fish, and that dude, man, tell you the truth. It's a craft of the mind, everybody. Go out there and have some fun. We're going to make it through. Stay tuned for more. Woo!